Hi there, my name is Nils, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make an outdoor freestanding projector screen that is large, affordable, collapsible, and totally portable. Also, be sure to stick around for the end of the video where I'll show you this tiny little projector that packs a real punch and is the perfect companion to this projector screen.
The projector screen we're going to be building is made of PVC and will hold steady in windy areas like where we live. It provides a great picture and is perfect for outdoor movie nights with family and friends. For this project, I used a good quality screen material that I purchased from Amazon. This is Karl's blackout cloth, which you can pick up for about $35. Links are in the description. While you can use a bed sheet or other material, this cloth is designed for projector screens. There's a finished side and a back. You can hear the difference. Lie the screen on your carpet, scratchy side up, which is the back, and fold over each side about 3 to 4 inches or 8 to 10 centimeters. To make the pockets for the PVC pipe, you can either use stitch witchery, which is an adhesive strip for fabric, or just sew it. I tried both, and the stitch witchery stuff, while a great option if you don't have access to a sewing machine, is kind of a pain. It requires you to lay it down between the fabric, put a towel under it so as not to melt your carpet, put a damp cloth over it, and then iron each side for about 10 seconds each, all the way along the length of it. I tried this for one side, and it took a while, so I headed over to the sewing machine and sewed the other 3 sides. Both held up equally well, but the sewing machine was much faster. You don't need to be an expert tailor or seamstress. This is what I call functional sewing. It just needs to get the job done. When you're done with each side, cut a square in each of the 4 corners so that you can push the PVC pipes through them. When you're done, you should have a screen that is approximately 16:9 ratio, and it should look roughly like this. Next, I did a bit of mansweeping in the garage to keep my screen from getting too dirty when I laid it out and started getting my measurements. Be sure to take multiple measurements in case your sides aren't perfectly straight. For my screen, the measurements were 102 inches wide by 58 inches high. I'm using 1.5 inch PVC for this build. Take your width measurement and start by subtracting 2 inches to accommodate for the 1 inch depth of the elbows. For the top and bottom rails, I'm going to break it down into 2 sections so that the kit is a little bit more portable. You'll lose about 1/4 inch because of the coupling, so you'll need to subtract that as well. Lastly, divide that result by 2 so that you can break your pipe into 2 sections. You'll need 4 pieces, 2 for the top and 2 for the bottom. The sides are much simpler. Just subtract 2 inches from the height and you're all set. You should end up with 4 identically sized pieces for the top and bottom rails, and 2 slightly longer identical sized pieces for the sides. You've got several options for cutting the PVC. The first is to use a PVC pipe cutter. These are pretty inexpensive and links are in the description. They're super easy to use. They're also the cleanest option. If you have a hacksaw, you can use that too, but it is a lot of work and a lot of mess. Plus, you're going to have to sand every cut because it leaves them pretty rough. If you have access to a miter saw or chop saw, that's definitely the easiest and quickest way to go. That's what I chose to use for this project. Once you've got your 6 pieces cut, lay them out for a quick test fit to make sure everything lines up, and then try to fit them into the screen and see how that goes. If it's too big, that's okay. We want to start a little large. We want to cut the pipes down until they barely fit, and that's what's going to keep the tension on the screen and stretch it tight to get rid of the wrinkles and the creases. Keep adjusting until you get it to fit nice and tight. Once that's squared away, you can make the cuts for the legs and feet. The stand is just 2 feet and a leg for each side. I made my feet about 18 inches wide so that the base would be about 3 feet across, and the legs were about 2 feet high, but feel free to adjust as needed. Put these together with 1 T and 2 end caps each, then attach them to the screen to stand it up. Ta-da! The screen is almost done. Now, if you want to add some tie downs for windy conditions, one way to do that is to drill a hole into each side of the vertical poles about halfway up. Drill through the outside of the PVC and then slightly into the other side, but not through. The reason for that is you can drive a 3-inch screw into each side and it'll fit right into place. These act as the connector for the tie downs. Drive some stakes into the ground, or you can just use some heavy objects like your kids, and then use paracord to tie the screen to the stakes, or the kids. Be sure to have a helper if you're setting the screen up in very windy conditions like you see here. You can then use a lighter to melt the ends of the paracord to prevent fraying. With that, you're all done, except that you're not. I thought I was finished, but then I noticed the horizontal folds. I came up with a solution for this that works pretty well. I created a stretcher bar to fit between the top and bottom poles. I had to make a small cut in the sleeves at the top and bottom, and then I put a 3-inch screw at the top and the bottom of a pole and spaced them just far enough apart that they stretched the top and bottom poles apart. With the stretcher bar in place, the wrinkles were almost gone, and the only one that was left was really small and didn't even show up when the screen was in use. Now it's done, and backyard movie night is on. Oh, and check out that tiny little projector in the corner.
Now as we wrap up, there's one little part I definitely want to show you guys. I think it's something really awesome that I wanted to share because it's kind of what inspired me to do this project. This little projector that you see standing on the tripod mount here.
Want to build a cheap tripod mount with your existing tripod? Click the link at the top of the screen and I'll show you how.
Is hardly bigger than a cell phone, and it's actually running this whole projector screen here, and it's got about a bazillion little features that make it totally awesome. For one thing, this thing is 100% wireless, and I'm not saying like it has Wi-Fi and that's it, but it has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth, and it's battery powered. So you can literally take this thing out into the mountains, to a campsite, set up your portable screen like this, take this thing with you. You don't need any wires, you don't need a generator, anything like that. You don't even need the Wi-Fi. You can actually load movies onto a micro SD card and pop them in there. You can also AirPlay from your iOS device, or you can cast from an Android device and watch that way. I mean, it is pretty impressive. So be sure to check it out. You can hook it up to a Bluetooth speaker so that you have wireless sound. You can even put the sound behind the screen so it's coming right from the screen, and you've got yourself a pretty amazing, completely wireless outdoor setup. Two more things about it that I think, just kind of blew my mind. There is actually a touchpad right on top here. So I'm actually able to move the mouse around and navigate through this Android-based device, and I can use Netflix, I can use YouTube, anything like that. So if you're streaming this in the backyard, you've got everything you need right there. These little guys run about $240 on Amazon, and if you use the links in the description below, those are affiliate links, so it kind of helps me out. It doesn't cost you any extra, and it supports my channel. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, any suggestions on how to do things different or make things better, I'd love to hear them. We always want to make our projects the best we can, and I appreciate your input. So thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're not already subscribing to my channel, I would love for you to do so. Give me a thumbs up in the video if you liked it, and by subscribing, whenever I come out with a new video, it goes straight to your inbox. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.